wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience, but our audience that's watching the roast, if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not, I wasn't shocked. Like, that's what they do. Go look at the Tom Brady one. Like, that's what they do. It happens every year when they do a roast. It's not new. This isn't a new, it's not a new agenda. It's not a new approach to comedy.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe?
All right, let's break it down, and then we'll play
It's Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, I don't like.
First thing he did say is that the joke was distasteful, talking about the George Floyd joke by Tony Hinchcliffe. So he did off rip. He does say it's distasteful. That's not the majority of what he's saying. And I think that's the problem, is that that's not the majority of what he's saying. The majority of what he's saying is that it's a roast. It's a part of roast. This is what is a part of roast. And yes and no, Kev, because it was your roast. It was the Kevin Hart roast. George Floyd has nothing to do with Kevin Hart. So I think that's the major thing. And I think that's something that you should have addressed. And when you were addressing this, if you were going to say it's distasteful, you should have then said it had nothing to do. You should have stood on that more so than standing on the fact that it's a roast. This is what happens with a roast, and it's comedy. And like, no one's really trying to hear that because of the severity of the situation. And then he goes on to say, I don't know if it's in this clip, that they were talking about his dead mother, his dead father. That is, again, that's more about you than George Floyd. Your mom, your dad, in the scheme, in the thought process of a roast, that makes sense for a comedic roast, to talk about the person who's getting roasted, their family. Okay, got it. Makes sense. George Floyd makes no sense. Trayvon Martin makes no sense. Sandra Bland makes no sense. Breonna Taylor, all those people don't make no sense to be involved in a Kevin Hart roast. And I think if you were going to address it, you should have addressed, like, that's partially what you should have said. That Tony Hinchcliffe was out of bounds, and it didn't even, it wasn't relevant to what you put together.
I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
I feel like you're saying going too far is the point. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yes, I mean,
okay.
That's why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, but I'm going to, because we're being honest. People are talking about that joke. Talk about his set. Tony Hinchcliffe arguably had the best set, or one of the best sets, between Tony and Cheryl.
See, now that's the part also where it's kind of nasty.
Had a really strong set.
I watched the roast, so I do get what he's saying, but you're also missing the point. Tony Hinchcliffe, from a comedic standpoint, as a comedian, as a comedy lover, or as a person watching, as an audience, Tony Hinchcliffe had a good set up until the George Floyd joke. I think the George Floyd joke was like the last thing he said. Like, it was so unnecessary. So we're not talking about how good of Tony Hinchcliffe's set was. We're not talking about how good of a comedian Tony Hinchcliffe is. And I don't even think he's necessarily a good comedian. I think he happens to be good for roasts or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. You're kind of shifting the focus of what the problem is when you say, well, we're talking about his joke, but he had a really good set. Like, again, Kevin Hart is my guy. So that's why this is like, I'm not on the bandwagon of bashing him. Some people are saying he needs to be canceled, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just see that he could have handled this better. I think he's frustrated with it because obviously he's getting a lot of the heat for it because it was his roast and he didn't say anything. He was laughing at the joke. Like there's different reasons why he's getting it. He's being held accountable and responsible. But I just feel like it could have been addressed better and less like, okay, but look at this, look at that, look at like no, the problem is Tony Hinchcliffe was out of line at your roast with that joke. Everyone was you're not in the same perspective. Everyone is out of line at a roast when they're roasting the person who's there to be roasted. It was out of line towards your whole community, the black community.
I was laughing out loud at Tony until that.
Until the joke.
But not even just that joke. I don't like when people joke about violent, tragic death. I like Pete said, and then I was like, oh, why you have to say anything about Charlie Kirk?
Pete had a great set too. Pete had a Charlie Kirk joke in there. Like, would I tell those jokes? No. But do I get
this
why
is another thing that I hate about the comparison between Charlie Kirk and George Floyd. Pete is not under fire because he had a Charlie Kirk joke. Because Charlie Kirk did not die because Charlie Kirk was not killed because he was white. Charlie Kirk, he was paid for, and the whole thing he was known for was spreading hatred and bigotry and gun violence, and just it didn't matter if you were black, Latino, a woman, trans, the whole 9 yards. So that is why Charlie Kirk ended up being assassinated. George Floyd, yes, he was convicted of crimes in the early 2000s, but nothing George Floyd did was why he was killed in the street by a police officer. The two don't even need to be compared. The only similarity that they have is that they were both killed, not why they were killed.
That's what I know what you're going to do. I know your style of comedy.
Did you see the interview that I did with Terrence Floyd, George Floyd's brother?
No.
So he said
no shot to you.
No, okay. That's good.
I'm never watching it.
That's fine.
I just want to be clear. I'm never watching that.
Like, I only brought it up.
Even now that you told me, I'm not going to go back and go look at that interview.
Because he's
okay.
I didn't find at first when I saw his response to Lauren's interview. Is it Lauren or Laura? It's either Lauren LaRosa or Laura LaRosa. I think it's Lauren LaRosa. His response to that, people thought was distasteful. I know that to be Kevin's, like, that's his comedic way. Like, that's him making a joke about something. It's really, like, he even says, it's not a shot to you, blah, blah. Like, it's just like, so I feel like a lot of things are being taken out of context because he's under fire.
I just asked because he's a fan of you. Mm-hmm. He saw the joke and it picked up pretty big. So I didn't know if you saw it, but he basically said, like, as a fan of you and knowing that you came to the funeral to support his family, even though it's a roast and Tony, that's what he does, they expected you to kind of be the person that would, like, stop it right in the moment or just not allow for certain things to happen.
And he also said he wanted you to come harder. He said if they're going to joke, why you ain't come harder?
All right, let me pause it right there.
Right,
that is a good.
This is actually a good.
I feel like that's a good take.
Good thing to give him.
Because Kevin Hart, not that he needed to stop it right there. He could have stopped it right there. He could have at least addressed it right there. But one thing that Cheryl Underwood did when she got the mic was she addressed Shane Gillis for overstepping or whatever. Like she checked him. So Kevin Hart, once he got the mic, because he got the mic at the end of the roast and was ending up roasting everybody, blah, blah, that could have been the perfect time for you to address it. Like, hey, that was distasteful, especially since you apparently went to George Floyd's funeral. It's just like, you wouldn't even be addressing this now. Like, you wouldn't even be under fire had you addressed it when it happened or when you got the mic. It's just like, there things could have happened to stop, to prevent this type of backlash.
Rebuttal too.
See, then
they talked about my dead mom and my dead dad. Said that they were running a train on my mom, and
that was hilarious,
right?
It was that was crazy.
Yeah, that was Regina killed that,
right?
Yes, oh wait, that's right. You probably should say killed that.
The jokes about Kevin was on a slave ship in a bottle with like the ship in the bottle. Like, I'm going to appreciate humor. I don't get affected.
So two things.
By the attempt of humor. I get
those jokes are about you. And if they're talking about your mom, they're talking about your dead dad, your dead mom, your dead dad, like, and you sign up for a roast, like, you can, that makes sense in the grand scheme of a roast. There's only so much you can say about Kevin Hart. You then needed to talk about his family tree or whatever. And either way, it goes back to you. Like, it's a joke about your mom and your dad that ultimately is a joke about you. Joking about George Floyd has nothing to do with Kevin Hart. So it's like, again, you're like using that as like, see, they talked about my dead people. What's the problem with them talking about George Floyd? Like, they're not in the same conversation. And you're saying it was you appreciate humor. It wasn't funny. It wasn't a funny joke. His joke was that George Floyd is looking up at us and laughing so hard that he can't breathe. Not funny. Like, even now, it was not a funny joke.
This case, like, do more. It's my production. We're live. The more is what? Like, what is it that you expect me? You want me to take a live production and stand up and fight Tony or have a reaction? Like, Tony told a joke. It wasn't a tasteful joke to us.
So that's really what your energy should be about, Kev, is that it was not a distasteful joke. I didn't like the joke. Nobody like all you'd have to, if you just kept saying that, or if you kept like on that thought process that the joke was distasteful, rather than saying like, it's comedy and they joked about my people and this is how it goes. It's a roast. Like, you're making light of them. Tony Hinchcliffe joking about a black man dying from police brutality that you went to his funeral for. Like, you went and supported his family, and you're like that's what I'm saying. You're making light of something that you more than anybody, or you more than anybody on the stage, should be like, that's not funny. That's not a joke. What are you doing? Like it was the perfect alley-oop to take a stand and represent yourself well, represent black people well. And it's not like Kevin Hart doesn't do that. Like, so that's why it's tough, because Kevin Hart does represent himself well. Kevin Hart does represent black community well overall for the majority of the time. But it's just like, you would not be under fire right now if you didn't take this, if you took the stand that you should have took, especially it being your shit. Like, you basically allow, like, it's one thing if you weren't there or something like that. It's Kevin Hart, presented by Kevin Hart or whatever. But you were right there. It's your shit. Everyone's there for you. It's your production. What, like, you more than anyone could have been like, yo, fuck that guy. That's not okay. I don't accept, agree, or stand with that.
I don't understand why we stand on a hill and it becomes like this big thing of like, oh man, the motherfuckers, they do this and they're attacking the culture. It doesn't have to be that. It literally is either you're a fan of this level of content or you're not. And if you're not a fan, then you don't watch it. So my last note for all attached to this is very simple, okay? whatever the headlines or whatever the dialogue is, my rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it. If you are upset that the night went on, that's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what? What do you want me to do? I'm going to drag him off? You want me to fight afterwards? You want me to turn it into like what? That's not what I agreed to do. That's
two things. One,
the job at hand was to produce a successful
if Tony Hinchcliffe was dragged off, that would have been, I think everyone in their mind would have applauded that. So, not a bad idea. Two, can't remember the first thing he said that it wasn't his joke. It was Tony Hinchcliffe's joke. It wasn't Kevin Hart's joke. Valid. That is another stance that you should have, or thought process that you should really be speaking towards, rather than belittling the situation. If you would have stuck with the joke was distasteful, and I did not say the joke, I don't want anything to do with the joke or whatever, it makes it gives people less room to be like, okay, he's saying this is a part of comedy. This is comedy. If you don't like it, don't watch. Like, you're giving more fuel. Are we freaking joking? Oh, I had to take a phone call. Don't remember the last thing I was saying, but let's keep on keeping on.
I also got the rebuttal. I also got to say shit at the end. What are we dealing with here? I'll say it again. Stop talking as if I said it. So when you say
you didn't disrespect the family, Kev, but you also didn't stand up for the family
when it happened.
Like, you didn't like. Again, Kevin, I respect Kevin Hart. He's like, I have a good amount of respect for Kevin Hart. So I just think this was a blunder, and he's also got a lot of money. When you got a lot of money, shit, a lot, like, maybe things that are problems or issues to you and I may not be the biggest of problems and issues to a guy that's got a lot of money. But again, doesn't matter who you are. If you're a person and you mess up or whatever, you deserve to address it, but you also deserve to be held accountable. I think Tony Hinchcliffe, way more than Kevin Hart, should be being held accountable.
Made sure that the family felt supported. Made sure that all things there were actually cool. Behind the scenes, just as an example, you know the one person that I talked to, and I'm not even going to tell you the conversation, Stephen Jackson.
Oh, I know he caught that.
That's because that's my nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, Stack, let me just call you, man, so I can explain to you, like, the world of the roast, X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. We talked. I get it, Kev. We had a great conversation. But that's what I mean when I say, hey, man, let me call the one person after. And that's before whatever you're talking about. Mm-hmm. That's immediate. Mm-hmm. Stack, hey, Tony threw one out there. It's this and this, but you do know that that's what this shit is a roast. But I just want you to know from my side, that man is on his own.
You ain't lead with that, Kev. You should have been leading with that the whole time.
Because I don't need to.
People just want to know you care.
I don't fucking need to prove to people that I give a fuck.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Just this time. This one time.
No.
Yes, this one.
No. If you open that door, then that's the door that people expect all the time. Why the fuck do I need to do that?
I think it's because of how much the George Floyd situation affected so many people. I think I get what you're saying and how you stand on your business, and I respect you for that.
I'm not talking about business.
Or whatever it is. I think with certain things.
Not say it.
But their pushback is it happened at Kevin Hart's roast. Kevin Hart, who is like, he's out, like, so many of us support you. You're ours.
They just want to hear you say. Okay, I just want to hear you say what you said today. It's tasteless. You actually reached out to somebody who's considered his family to say, let them know. That's all.
I have the best example. Mm-hmm. If I go to a nightclub and, like, we're celebrating, right? And 2 people get killed that night at the nightclub. What's the headline?
Kevin Hart's party got shot.
2 people died at Kevin Hart's party, right? People may say, I'm not going to Kevin Hart's party again. Man, you can't go to Kevin Hart's shit. Kevin Hart's shit ain't safe. I ain't fucking with Kev. You heard what happened. I go, but I didn't fucking do it. I didn't even know the people that fucking was shooting. I didn't even know the 2 people that got killed. That's the nature of being the name. Your name is attached to things to make things bigger. What is my fucking... I didn't shoot the gun. Why am I arguing and why am I doing interviews after?
Why were they in your party with guns?
Who knows? I don't work the metal detectors. I'm not the security guys. The club does all that. I don't have those answers. You understand what I'm saying? Like the responsibility it starts to compile as if I'm the one in charge. We are not in charge of the dialogue from anybody on that stage.
If Tony calls you right now and says, man, Kev, man, I was out at the comedy club, man. And man, this dude, man, who said he was George Floyd's brother, smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah, I deal with that.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Hey, if you guys like this video, make sure you check out these videos where we talk more about music, dating, and real life situations. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Make sure you check out these videos and make sure you subscribe. Peace.